All right, today we're lucky enough to sit down with the lovely and talented Jamie Taylor of Confetti Party. Thanks for joining us today, Jamie.
Thanks for having me, Nicole.
Yes, I'm really excited to chat with you about your business. You've seen some explosive growth in the last, how many years have we been in business now?
3 and almost a half.
That's wild, time flies. So, and our audience is not lucky enough to know you yet, perhaps, although they may have seen you recently featured in the New York Times.
Possibly.
Possibly. Very, very cool. I'm so excited for you. So let's start from the beginning so they can get to know you a little bit, and then we'll talk about your awesome business. So, Jamie, where are you from?
I am born and raised in Puyallup and currently living in Tacoma, Washington. I made the far trek to Tacoma.
It's okay. I island hopped within Gig Harbor. I'm like whopping 12 minutes away from my childhood home. So same. Okay, so local gal, of course, and we met actually through the Gig Harbor Chamber.
Yeah.
Your time there.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you have always been, I mean, the way we met, I think I complimented your outfit because you've always had this incredible design and style.
Yeah. I do remember, I know exactly what you're talking about and when.
It was at the Hub. This is where the love story began. And anyway, so, and so you had a really wonderful understanding of small business and how to support small business because that was very much your role during that time.
Yeah, I mean, working at the chamber was definitely my first experience, I think, really dealing with small business. I always worked at small businesses for the most part. I never really worked for a big company. And so when you work for small businesses, you really get to see kind of the ins and outs. And I feel like you learn a lot. But working at the chamber specifically was really interesting because you got to see kind of just more of a myriad of different types of businesses and work directly with business owners. So it was very eye-opening. And definitely gave me kind of inspiration to want to open my own business.
Right, because as your career changed, and you moved on from that, we stayed in touch and we'd always talk about, your different creative ideas. And I remember going to dinner and chatting about, confetti, what is
Yeah.
now confetti. So okay, let's start from the beginning there too. So when did you start confetti exactly?
So confetti, I feel like even though it's been 3.5 years, has continued to just morph over just this little baby period. But when we first started confetti, now I'm drawing a blank. When we first started confetti, and now because I'm going way back in my brain,
right? So much has happened since then. It's wild. Yeah.
Really started as an event planning company, but when Confetti Party, when we kind of switched over to that, the whole concept from event planning, what we realized was a lot of people were throwing these Instagram worthy parties, but a lot of people aren't good at throwing those. They don't know how to put things together. Yeah. Or don't have the time and don't care to do it. Yeah. And so I kept trying to think of a way, how could we kind of create these Instagram worthy parties, but mail them and send them to people. And the idea actually came when my niece was graduating from high school, and my sister is one of those people who doesn't feel like she has the creative gene. And so she asked me she's like, just put it together, pick the colors out, tell me what I need to buy. I will go and get it, but just tell me what to do. And so I put together a little storyboard for her, told her where to go and get it. And then it became a chore. She was so busy that she didn't really have the time to even go and get them. And so that was kind of where the idea sparked. I was like, I could really do this for people, but then we could mail it to them. So they don't have to worry about running around from store to store and picking up all of those things. Cause I mean, time is money, right?
Absolutely. No, it was such a brilliant solution to a problem that I am all too familiar with.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. It's been amazing to watch you grow. Just truly a pleasure to be your friend through this. And I think, so what inspired you to start the business was really solving a problem and helping people you loved, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then talking about, we've had conversations over the years about how do we scale it though, right? Because as that became more known, as your brand grew, it's like, oh gosh, okay. And you had quite a few different offerings. So right now, you have, I mean, you said grad party, and that's actually super timely. We are in graduation season, which looks very weird right now.
Yes, it is. And I think you're right. Kind of going back to what you said, I think that throughout any business, like you kind of have to listen and pivot to what's going on. So like we launched the party boxes, and while they did decent, what was really doing very well pre-pandemic was our balloon installations, which is kind of like one example of what's behind me. And so that was going really well, and that's where a majority of our time was. But with the pandemic, there's no large gatherings and events. And so that was it could have been very devastating to our business, and it was initially. But that was when we were lucky enough to really start with the idea of an online business. And so we just had to kind of shift focus back to that and figure out how we could continue to move and operate and provide people with celebrations like current pandemic times.
Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about, I mean, I know, of course, we'll talk about graduation packages and what's offered there, because that's been huge. I mean, that's been your most popular item right now, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's been going, the graduation and the virtual party boxes have been going bananas, like just crazy. And it's been, honestly, the last like week and a half, it's been somewhat surreal. I mean, I think that obviously being featured in the New York Times has helped out so much.
Maybe. Small publication. I don't know.
And so, I mean, that in itself, like, it's just been very surreal. I never would have like thought that this would happen. I'm very like thankful that it's happening, and we're seeing we're seeing some good like results from that. And so it's been refreshing in such a time that has been very like uncertain and unknown, and you're kind of feel like you're standing in this like, you're not sure which direction you're going in. So
yeah, no, it was so smart. So can you tell me, so if I have a graduate and I'm going to order a box from you, what does that include, and how can I use that to celebrate my graduate?
Yeah, so one of the cool things, and that was why we were featured, so the Grad Box specifically was what was featured in the New York Times. And what was really kind of cool about our Grad Box story was that it wasn't really an idea that we came up with. It was an idea that a customer came up with as a custom box. And we were like, why can't we offer this to every grad that is out there? And so that was kind of, I would love to take the credit, but I really can't. Decided to like offer it to everybody. So what we put together was a box that included a DIY balloon garland kit in like their school colors. It came, they had 2020 like air-filled foil balloons. You get a couple of like champagne like cheers glasses. You get some confetti, of course. And then we also partnered with a small business in Seattle that makes Funky Cold Co. They make custom cookies. And so we put custom cookies in there for that as well. So that was kind of nice. Like we were really trying to support like how could we support other small businesses and add them into our box. Plus it just adds like a fun element to it. And then the last thing is we include a gift. So everyone gets a best self journal, which was featured on Shark Tank. And so the idea behind that was really to get people to establish like their 3 major goals and start setting a plan to achieve those goals, which I thought was fitting, whether or not you're graduating high school or college or, I mean, anything, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure. Well, and also I think that's a neat, because this is such a time of reflection, because things do look different. So that's really clever and thoughtful.
Yeah. So, and then each one will either include like tassels as well. So we're kind of switching that out. Some people don't need a tassel, so we'll either like include a tassel. If not, we'll throw in like an extra fun, like confetti popper or something kind of fun for it. So
very, very cool. I love that. And for those that aren't celebrating a graduate this season, or have other, like a lot of weddings have been postponed, or there have been things like that, and people are still celebrating engagements, baby showers, birthdays. So you also have options for that, right?
Yes. So we ended up coming out also with a virtual party box. And so the concept behind that was to create a more price pointed. So our grad box is a little bit more expensive because it definitely is bigger, has a gift. We wanted to come out with something where people could still like hop on a Zoom call and throw a party. And so whether or not it's a baby shower or a bridal shower, or we have a retirement party coming up for somebody that's retiring from the Navy and they don't get a send off. We just sent out a birthday, and their virtual party box was, she likes cats. And so we put little cat masks in all of them so they can all wear cat masks. So the idea behind it was just everybody You order all of the boxes, so you tell us how many people are going to be hopping onto our virtual call, and we get names and addresses for everybody, and then we put a party box together for everybody, and each party box includes like a party cup, a straw, one decor item. You'll get a sweet treat that comes in it, and usually it's either the custom cookie or it's J Coco chocolates out of Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And you also get some balloons. So it's definitely much more like price pointed, small, something fun to hop on. And then you also get a game. So we wanted a way to like make sure that people like interact. So like it might be like, who knows the birthday girl the best? Or we just did one. This one was super cute. I haven't sent it out yet, but it's for an 80-year-old birthday party. And so that had its own challenges. We had to make sure that the decor items we were putting in there was something that didn't need to be like DIY'd or made so that they could easily like pull it out. But in hers, she was also, they said she likes books and she was a cancer survivor. And so we have the cookie lady is making her these book cookies with I Survived Cancer, or yes, Cancer Survivor Volume 80 is what we were putting on the cookies. Isn't that so cute?
My heart. Yes, that's so cute.
One thing about the cookies is it really just customizes it rather than just being kind of a, you know, basic kind of candies that we put in there. So just to me, like elevated it. But then the other thing that was cool is they will all jump on and we put a cost of living game in there so that the year that she was born, they all have to like choose like what did things cost during that time. So just a way to like add like a way to interact with people, you know, as you virtual than just kind of sitting around and talking.
Right. Yeah. I mean, a little more structure if people need it or want it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Or at least start that conversation piece. So yeah. So that's included in the virtual boxes.
Okay. So from what I'm understanding, I mean, you're just absolutely, you've pivoted, you're thriving through this coronavirus season, which is impressive. What do you think, ideally, you know, as things about open back up, what do you think business will look like? I mean, I think that you found a really valuable thing here for folks that, you know, we were talking about before we jumped on. You know, I have some dear college roommate friends that we haven't all talked together, I don't know in how long, and now we're doing, you know, quasi-weekly Zoom calls. Like, I think this part of this might stick around.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely our hope. And that's the one thing that we've been thinking about is how does this continue after all of this? And that is still something that we're working on. But I think that, so talking about like kind of in the beginning, you know, our prepackaged party boxes were to have like a party of like 8, 16 or 24. And we'll still have like those options. You can still buy party supplies on our website. But I think our prepackaged boxes are really going to shift more towards small celebration boxes like this, where you can like, you can send it to somebody as a gift. Like it could just be a fun, like celebratory gift, or you could do like a virtual party, like what you're doing here. And so that's kind of what I think we're going to shift and focus on. And I think that the price point kind of fits really well with just doing something fun. Because I feel like there's a lot of like sentimental gift companies out there, but not a lot of like fun celebratory gift companies. And I feel like that might be the niche that we'll fit into.
Totally. Well, and just so hip. I mean, you're so on trend. Like the balloon, I mean, to me, they're more like sculptures that you do. I know they're garlands. I mean, that the one behind you is fantastic. I think, are you going to continue doing those? Do you think installs after this, or do you think it'll be more something that you send to people to do themselves?
So I think that we will still, so we do have, we have DIY kits on our website. So you can buy like prepackaged DIY kits that we've designed color wise, but then you can also build your own and create your own custom DIY kit. Those are doing really well right now because obviously people are celebrating at home. I think post pandemic, I think that we'll probably increase our minimum on what we'll do for our installs, most likely. I think that we'll still do them, but I really, you know, as the pandemic was happening, we were really shifting more towards corporate installations and large installations anyways. And so I think that that's probably where we'll continue to like shift our focus towards, and then offer DIY kits for anybody that's wanting smaller installations. And we have a YouTube video tutorial that shows you exactly how we give you all the tips and tricks and secrets so that you can make it on your own. And we'll just kind of focus on like large installs.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, because they're really time consuming, and I mean, it takes a lot to put those together, I know. So, and for those of us celebrating at home, man, that's so impactful though, to get the correct balloons and the color. I mean, it just really changes. It can make, whereas it used to be streamers or something, it completely makes it feel like a party, or it changes the room.
Yeah, and you really don't need anything else. It's like once you have like a huge like balloon, and in a house, like huge would be like even like a 6 or 8 foot. I feel like it's like a pretty good size like inside somebody's house.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's, while they are like daunting when you look at them and you've never done them before, as long as you have an electric pump, let me tell you, just get an electric pump. We do sell ours with a hand pump, but we have the option to upgrade to an electric.
Do the upgrade.
Do it. It's worth $20. Like it literally cuts the time in half of creating it.
I love that. That's fantastic. Very, very cool. Okay, so is there anything else that we haven't covered? I mean, you've really done a wonderful job of listening to your customers and kind of reading your market and figuring out what they really want and need, and that's so cool. Anything else that we should know about Confetti Party?
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, just watch out for us. Hopefully we'll be featured again, and and so I guess one thing that we didn't cover is we do ship to the entire United States, and we ship to Canada as well. So that's an option as well. So we've had some people that once we all get like mobile and moving again, we used to do party boxes and we'd like ship them to like the location that they're going to be at. But yeah, and I think during this time, like I feel like the biggest thing that I've learned during this whole pandemic is reevaluate where you were spending your time and what was really worth it. And two, like you have to listen to your customers. Like a majority of all of our products have come from the ideas of our customers. And we just have like taken that and thought, wow, that's a great idea. Like we should run with that. And so virtual boxes were the same situation. We had because we had our custom box option, like people ask us, hey, can you make this? And then we do. And then if we get a lot of requests of something like that, then we make it like a standard product in our line. And I think for any businesses, it's really important to just listen to your customers and kind of evaluate the market and where things are kind of going. And, I know it's really hard for most small businesses right now, but there's, if you can get online and do like tutorials, or there's a way to pivot, and you just got to figure out where that niche is and how you can do that.
I love that. Well, and supporting each other. I mean, that's why we started to do this business spotlight through this time, because sometimes it's even just boosting each other up. And, like you're looking at local companies you can put in your box as much as possible. I think just supporting each other through this to make sure that we're all still open, on the other side of it. So
yeah, no, I love that you're doing this.
Yeah, it's been so fun. So fun. So, okay. So if folks want to support your small business, not so small if you ask me, but if you want to support Confetti Party, where can we find you?
You can go to confettiparty.com, and we spell that CONFETE party.com. And you'll land on our website, and just send us a message. You can also follow us on Instagram, and get a lot of like inspiration ideas from there as well.
You do have a pretty beautiful Instagram feed, not gonna lie. Pretty good. They should check you out. Of course, we're gonna drop all of that information below. Maybe we'll see if we can go snag that balloon garland tutorial and stick that down there too, so everyone can check you out and your crazy skills. And thank you again for joining me. It's good to see you, and I look forward to going out to dinner again with you as soon as this is over.
I know, I miss it so much.
I know. All right. Have a great weekend, my dear.
All right. Thanks, Nicole.